Our scientists conducted an experiment in which they put the chip in the brains of 2 rats. Both of them were in different cities and connected to the internet. What happened after that was really surprising. The work that the first rat had learned in 2 to 3 weeks, the second rat immediately began to do. The other rat didn't have to learn anything. That is, the brain of the first rat is uploaded to the second rat. Knowing how effective this technology is and what is going to benefit humans from it, you'll be surprised. This video is about the technologies related to the brain that are currently being developed, and they will change our future. This video is made based on ongoing research around the world. None of the claims made in it are fake. For the next 50 years, the brains of all people around the world will be directly connected to the internet. As today's computers and mobiles are connected, we human beings will be able to see what is going on in the minds of others. It can happen if a person steals you from brain during your sleep. In the coming few decades, our brains will be no more than a chip, in which we will be able to make whatever changes we want. Let's know how it's going to be a reality. Look carefully at this robotic arm. Just like our brain thinks, it does the same thing. This arm does not move with a button or remote, but it is directly controlled by our brain. Now you'll think, how it's possible? Actually, our brain sends electronic signals to control our body, which gives our body parts a clue what they have to do. The brains of those whose legs and arms are cut off in an accident also send these signals to these organs. With the help of these signals, we can also get the artificial limbs to work. These artificial limbs work the same way, just as our real organs do. Now our scientists are well aware of how these signals reach organs from our brains. Along with this, we have now also come to know which part of the brain controls which organ. Now our scientists are working on a chip that can take these signals from the brain and send them to the computer wirelessly. Elon Musk's company Neuralink has made a wire thinner than human hair that can be inserted into the brain. A very advanced robot has been created for this task because this work is very risky. There are very thin veins in our brain, even the slightest carelessness can lead to our death. That's why Neuralink has designed this special kind of robot. With the help of this robot, these wires will be put in a particular part of the brain. After that, these wires will send signals from the brain to the chip. With the help of the chip, these signals will be transported wirelessly to a computer or an artificial limb. We can use these signals in a way that we want to use. It's not a blank fantasy. Earlier, we have done this experiment on monkeys. The spinal cord of a monkey was damaged in the middle, due to which the rear part of the monkey stopped working. The scientists put one chip in the monkey's brain and the other chip in his lower spinal cord. After this, one chip took the signal and sent it to the other chip. Then the monkey started walking. It was a wonderful experiment. But our scientists are not going to stop just until this experiment. They want to use this technology in the medical field. And we have succeeded to some extent in this. At the moment, we are able to create such artificial limbs that works by taking signals from our nerves and muscles. These things are proving to be a boon, especially for the disabled. So far, whatever artificial limbs we were using, they all worked with information from the brain. But they did not send any information back to the brain. But now we have started making such artificial limbs, which can send information back to the brain. You might be wondering what difference it is going to make, but that's what's going to surprise us the most. We humans have 5 senses, such as seeing, hearing, tasting, touching and smelling. After birth, all the information that goes into our brain goes through these senses. Everything we hear, see, feel, becomes an information and is saved in our brain. But think if we replace natural senses with artificial senses in the human body, e.g. electronic eyes, etc. By doing this, we can increase our natural abilities and also hack the brain. When we touch something hot, our brain knows that it is hot. But what if you touch something hot and your mind feels that it's too cold here? Because we can send the desired signal to the brain through artificial limbs. If you're watching a movie and your eyes send signals to the mind that it's a real event, what will happen? That's how we can hack our minds. But for some people, it can be quite fun. They can enjoy the real even in fake things. But all of this is nothing. The experiment that the scientists conducted on rats, in which the brains of 2 rats were connected to the internet. In the next few decades, we will be able to do the same with humans. If that happens, the whole world will change. Children don't have to go to school and learn. Our brain will be able to take information of all the books around the world in no time. All the things that are online around the world, our brain will be able to access them all. Apps like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp will not be in your phone but in your mind. We don't need to talk to another person, but we will be able to communicate with that person with a direct mind no matter where that person is. If another person gives us permission, we will also be able to see what is going on in his mind. Many times we tell another person about an event, but still we can't make that person feel the real thing about that event. After this technique, you will be able to make another person feel the same way about an event as you have done. The minds of all people will be connected to each other in the same way as today's computers and mobiles are connected online. Today we can see in another computer from any location which data is in it. We can use that data as well. If we want, we can delete the entire data of that computer. But think that if anyone delete all the data from the brain of the sleeping person, which he had collected since childhood, this means it will eliminate you from your brain. Because human beings are just an information. If you don't understand this, then I have made a full video for it, which says that a human being is just an information. I'll give that video in the link in the description. With this technique, we will be able to steal a person from his body and put another person in his body. However, it will not be easy to do all this because like any computer, our brain will also be password protected. Whether or not a person would want to connect his mind to the internet would be his own desire. All these techniques in the medical field are going to be very amazing. Just as a person is blind, all part of his brain are able to function properly, but the signal is not reaching the brain from the eyes. This can be caused by having optical nerve damage or for some other reason, but with the help of Neuralink's chip, the eyes of a blind person can also send signals to the brain without any optical nerve. If there is a deficiency in his eyes, then he can also be given electronic eyes. These eyes will be more advanced than our natural eyes. These eyes will be able to see as well as record something and will also be able to show something far away by zooming in. The biggest beneficiaries of this technology will be those with disabilities. These people will be able to work with artificial limbs just like their natural organs. Now we know that there are billions of neurons in our brain and our brain controls our body parts by sending signals. After a few decades, we will be able to save the information inside all the neurons in our brains into a chip or a computer. And we will be able to use this information according to our will. As if a person is about to die and cannot be saved, we will store all the information of his brain in a computer or chip. After that, we will be able to put this information in another person's body or in a robot. Thus a dead man will come back to existence. But we will be able to do this only in the body of a living person. But why would a living person allow it to do so? Suppose a person has to be sentenced to death. We will not kill that person physically, but we will delete that person from his mind. And we will put the information in his mind that we saved. At this a dead man will come back. In this way a dead man will be brought back to life. If we can do that, it would be a great technique. It will change the lives of millions of people. Some people may find all this nonsense. I want to tell those who think so that today we can change all the parts of the body except the mind, such as eyes, heart, kidney, lungs, etc. So far, the mind is the only thing in our body that could not be changed because if the mind is changed, then the human being will also change. Earlier, we didn't understand much about the mind. But for a few decades we have made a lot of progress in this field. On the animal we have done a lot of experiments that I have mentioned in the video. Today, we are able to connect artificial limbs to the human mind and take work from them. At the moment a lot of companies are working to connect the human mind to the chip. Elon Musk's company Neuralink is at the forefront of this field. So we can say that all these things are not just imaginary but are going to be a reality. When this technique comes, use it carefully, because if someone steals you from your mind, don't blame me. I hope you liked the information. Please subscribe to our channel to watch such videos. If you like and share this video, then this video will reach more and more people and we will continue to get inspired to make such a video. Thanks for watching.